Hey gamers, Overhead TV 420 here, and in today's video, this is not the video that took me like 2 months of my life to make. No, this is a quick video that I decided to make because I was playing BO3 Zombies and I swapped controllers. So you've seen the title, right? The PS4 DualShock 4 versus the Xbox One controller, and it's the Xbox One like S controller, so it's not like the original, it's the one that came out later, and then the PlayStation 4 one's also the one that came out later, not the first one that had the crappy analog sticks, like rubber coated, whatever. So, before I start this, I have a heavy bias towards PlayStation, considering it is the only console I've ever owned. This Xbox controller I do have is from an Xbox that my brother, it's his Xbox, so I just took it and used it. Now, I have a PS4, a PS3, a PS2, and a PS1, and I've played all of them, so I have a bit of a bias for PlayStation, but doesn't mean that I don't hate the DualShock 3 and the DualShock 2 and the original, like, DualShock. They all suck, especially the PS3 one, it sucks. And the PS2 one is worse, but the PS3 one sucks. DualShock 4 though, great controller. Xbox One, great controller. But here, we're here to decide which is better. Now, I was playing Zombies and I was just swapping controllers just to see what was better, and I did it I started swap in the later round because there's more action and I have to like move around quicker and whatnot. So, I'll start off with the PS4 controller. Now, PS4 controller, which the gameplay has been for this entire time so far. Good controller. Solid, as when you're playing with it it feels solid. The buttons also feel kind of mushy, they're not really firm, they're a bit mushy. The analog sticks, they're good, great movement. When you push down on them to get the L3 and R3 buttons, good as well. You can press them down from the right and the left, I would say, but preferably straight up. You can press it down very easily, very easy to sprint in COD, for example. Yeah, just good build. The triggers, good. The triggers, I like the triggers a lot. They don't have too much give, but they're not too hard to push down, so they're very easy. Yeah, very good in general. Now, Xbox controller, right? I like how, so this is the Xbox I'm holding in my hand now. I'm doing the recording after I've actually done the recording, so I'm recording my voice later. Xbox controller, holding it in my hand. I think I prefer holding it. It's bigger, and it's got more grip. You can grip it better, but it feels more plasticky, in my opinion. It feels more plasticky. I would say, in the hands, it actually feels heavier. Now, the PS4 controller is actually heavier if you hold it, like, with one hand, like, just gripping it, it is heavier. But when you're just gaming with it, I think the Xbox controller feels heavier. It feels a bit top-heavy because the batteries are there. Now, using it, what I noticed when I was playing was the buttons feel really firm. Now, the PS4 buttons are more squishy, but these are firm. Like, it is firm. You can't, like, it's just firm. Like, you know you've pressed it, which I don't really like. It's firm. It's like, with the PS4 controller, the DualShock 4, you can kind of press the button on the side. Like, on the side. You don't have to, like, directly have it down. You can kind of press on the side, which I like, right? With this, not as much. You kind of have to be on it. And it feels weird if you don't, like, be directly on it. And it's just a lot firmer. The buttons, yeah, that's how I can explain it. They're firmer. As for the analog sticks, they feel different because I think they are smaller. they're smaller and they don't feel bad, but I don't know. It's when you push it forward and press down on them, it feels more mushy. In some areas, like if you're pushing it like straight up, it doesn't feel mushy. Put bit to the side, 45-degree angle, it feels mushy, and I don't really like that. As for the triggers, I don't like these triggers. I don't like them. They're too soft. They go in too much. They're just too soft, and also the top ones are really clicky. You can hear them here. They're really clicky, and I don't really like how clicky they are compared to the bottom. Now I just did this in a shooter. For driving, I don't know which one I'll prefer. Probably the Xbox. The Xbox has that more easing in, but for a shooter, PS4 wins on that area. Now the D-pads. I didn't talk about the D-pads. PS4 DualShock 4 D-pad. Yeah, it's worse. It's not bad, but it's not as good as the Xbox. The Xbox's one is much better. I prefer the firmer feel for the D-pad. It's better for the D-pad. But for everything else, I have to give it to the DualShock 4. It just feels better for me personally. I can game better with it. I think I can have a high sensitivity with it, and I can still control it quite well. I do like the Xbox's bigger form, but I think the more round DualShock 4 is where I would definitely stand with this. I think it's better. But anyway, so that's it. That's just pretty much me saying that I like the DualShock 4, and that was kind of obvious since I'm a PlayStation gamer. This video did not mean to be 7 minutes long, but alas. So yeah, that's it.